What's up, guys? Today I just wanted to talk about the preacher curl. It's a great piece of equipment that is very, very readily available. It's in most gyms. It's in most home gyms as well. Super simple piece of equipment. There's no moving parts, just a cushion and some framework. And it's very, very easy to find, to build, and it can make you very strong at arm wrestling. So a while ago, a long time ago, back in the 80s, 90s, preacher curl was super widely used to get strong at arm wrestling. And there was 4 main lifts people used to do. The 4 main lifts, they're not great. Some of them are good, some of them are not so good. So I just wanted to go over which ones are personally my favorite and which ones I feel are still very, very usable, and the ones that are obviously not so usable. So the first of the lifts that I don't personally like and I don't feel like is really that great is the reverse hammer curl. Well, not hammer curl, it's reverse curl. So you have it reverse grip like that. Up here, you go down to about 90. 90 is all you really need to go to, and you go back up. The elbow's planted. This is consistent in all things. The elbow's planted here, hands here. You go down with your body as well. You keep it at a relative angle, and then you go back up. And that's it. That's simple. That's for all the lifts. But this one in particular, although it is nice and it's good for a workout, it's not great for arm wrestling because the reverse hand is just not that practical. Like, if you're trying to train a regrip, if you're trying to go for that or a slip or something, there's better ways to do it. There's better ways to train that. You can train rise, you can train roll, you can do belt work. Just this one is not that great for that specific lift. So I rank that one 4th personally. Now the next one, and this one's a little bit better, but there's a lot of issues with it. This one will get you really strong, but it'll cause you issues down the line. And that's the main drawback of this exercise. Everybody's seen this one. It's in hook training 1 and 2. So planting the elbow up there, hands there. I'm going down with it, down to about 90 degrees, straight, parallel, and then I'm back up. And you could go, when you're going back up, you can let it slip a little bit out and go back up. It's better if you keep it tight. It doesn't really matter. It's all preference. You feel it around. But the issue with that one is since it's a lot of side pressure, it puts a lot of pressure on the elbow and a lot of rotation pressure, and over time, it'll damage your elbows. It's good. It's a good lift, but the issue is it really hurts you, and it's all inside. Styles have changed over the years. People have gotten much more outside. People don't use so much shoulder commitment anymore. And although there's still many inside pullers, the numbers are dwindling. And there's a reason for that. It's because people have discovered outside it's better. It's better for longevity. It's stronger most of the time. If you can crack the wrist, you can beat the rest of the arm. So this exercise in particular is not that great nowadays, but it was really strong back in the day. It was really great. Everybody would do this. It was super great. So that one I rank 3rd, just because you damage your elbow and the inside option is not as great as it used to be back in the 80s, 90s, or even before that. So outside option's better in my opinion, and this is just training inside, so I put it 3rd. Now, the next exercise, just a straight preacher curl. This one is super standard. This one they have machines for that have already set up. You grab. They're in most gyms. This one's very readily available. This one's nice because it's just a curl. It's just a curl up and down. You can use your body with it. You don't have to. You can do however you want. This one just trains the bicep. It's very easy. There's really no drawbacks to it. It'll just make you stronger in the long run. But it's not as good as number 1. That's the only difference. It's good. It'll make you have a stronger bicep, and everybody knows a stronger bicep in arm wrestling there's nothing bad about it. It only helps. You can pull the guy towards you more, and it's just better. So that one gets the 2nd place rank. And then we have the 1st place. And the 1st place, in my opinion, is just the hammer curl preacher variant, if we're going to call it that. So elbow up here, hand here, and it's down and it's up. Same as before. You can do it just like that. You can do it however you want to really do it, but it's the hammer curl that really matters, and going down with it and maintaining the weight. You can do different reps of it. You can do 1 rep max, you can do 10, you can do 3 sets of 12, you can do however you want. But the great thing about it is it's similar to arm wrestling because you're like this and you're pulling towards yourself. And in arm wrestling, that's what you do. So if you can get their post really strong, if you can really pull yourself, if you can pull the opponent towards yourself, it's great. It doesn't train that much wrist, doesn't train that much hand and wrist, which it could, and it would be better if it did, but you can do a little bit like of a variation to make it train the hand and wrist. For example, when you grip a dumbbell, you're holding it like this. Like you're holding it nice and strong with a firm grasp. You can train the hand by letting it a little bit looser, as you can see in there. And it's just on the fingertips. And you're doing the same thing. Down, up. Never closing my hand around it. This is nice, but when you get to heavier weights, then it's harder on the hand and wrist, and it's just a trade-off. You can try. If you're going for really heavy weights to work in the bicep, you can maybe close a little bit harder. If you're going lighter weights to work on just movement and getting blood flow, you can let your hand a little bit open, so it works more on the wrist and hand. So that's my tier list, we could say. The hammer curl preacher is a great way to get strong. It is super, super good for arm wrestling, and there's no real issues with it. It's not going to hurt you. Doesn't put any pressure in spots you don't want pressure. And yeah, thanks guys.